Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I'm Drew Martin, joined by Dave Koken and Ralph Michaels of WagerTalk.com. We're talking NCAA March Madness Tournament in the South region here. We got the ACC and Big Ten squaring off, UNC and Wisconsin. We're seeing North Carolina minus 1.5-point favorite here, Ralph. Near a 140 total, seeing mostly 139.5 right now. You liking anything with the Tar Heels and Badgers, round one?
Yeah, I am surprised how high Wisconsin continues to just be on the market. You look at their last 10 games, straight up wins against Penn State, at Nebraska, at Northwestern, and Penn State again in the tournament. That's it. They're a team that is going to get completely out-rebounded. North Carolina plus 10 rebounds per game. Wisconsin getting under-rebounded. My power ratings have this almost at North Carolina 5-point favorite. It very well likely will be on my card. I think North Carolina is the team that is taller. They do have an offense. Wisconsin has absolutely no offense. And we've seen North Carolina morph into a very good defensive team from the end of February on when they played Florida State and held them to 38.8%. It's the Tar Heels for me.
Liking the Tar Heels. And Dave, what are you thinking here? I mean, ACC, Big Ten squaring off in the 8-9 matchup, a good one here in the Southern region. You liking anything here, Dave?
Yeah, I've been trying to break this game down in a variety of ways. Certainly the current form is not something that's going to make you like Wisconsin. They just haven't played particularly well. Wisconsin's offense just isn't any good. I don't know what's happened to them this year, but they can't shoot the three. And yet the power rating still remains pretty high. Now, I think that's probably a product of them being in the Big Ten, which is the best conference in college basketball this year. And I don't think there's much argument to that. It's a great conference. The one thing that Wisconsin has done extremely well once again is limit transition offense. They're going to take that away from North Carolina. But North Carolina does have more athleticism. They're better in the post. The problem is they won't get the fast break points they normally get. I think it's a really tough game. And I don't know what to do with it. My power ratings slightly favor Wisconsin in the game. But to be honest, I don't trust my power ratings in this game. So even with my numbers making Wisconsin 2 and then being the dog, I doubt that's a play I can get to the window with.
Okay, good stuff, Dave. We don't have to bet it. And, this year in terms of conference power ratings, I heard you kind of going into that. I think with the lack of kind of cross-pollination here between conference play, it makes it difficult really across the whole tournament. Would you agree with that?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
I still think that you've got some conferences that are clearly stronger than the others. And I don't think this was a really good year for the ACC. And part of that is just the fact that the two real blue bloods in the league aren't real good this year. North Carolina's gotten better down the stretch, no question about that. Duke they never put it together. And that's usually not a good thing for the conference when the two teams that are generally going to be at the top of the league have had off years. I think it's something that is maybe throughout the conference. I'm not to say that the ACC is awful by any means. It's not. But I think the Big Ten and the Big 12 are simply the two best leagues out there this year, and by a pretty good margin.
Drew,
Yeah, no disagreement here.
Just for perspective, Ken Palm actually has the ACC 5th. I'm sure the ACC has never been 5th in any rating, but it has Big 10, Big 12, SEC, Big East, and then ACC. So, I mean, ACC has always been a top 3 conference to prove, just to quantify Dave's point.
Yeah, and Ralph, I mean, you watch as much college basketball as anybody. Would you agree with kind of Big 10, Big 12, and then ACC number 3, or would you put SEC number 3, or maybe something different?
Oh, I clearly will put SEC number 3 because, who do you have in the ACC? You have Virginia, which has 4 conference losses, Florida State, which has looked mediocre, and then Virginia Tech. So You take the top of the conferences. I'll take Arkansas and Alabama, in those situations. So I clearly have the SEC 3.
I have the Big East higher. And I think you could take now Villanova obviously lost a key guy late in the season, but overall, Villanova was still a really good team. Creighton's a really good team. Connecticut's come on strong. I honestly believe that any of those 3 teams would have won the ACC this year.
Interesting stuff. All right, guys. Some conference power ratings here, which likely going to be very important with the lack of out of conference play in the tournament. Guys, enjoy the UNC Wisconsin game, the 8-9 matchup for the right to play Illinois, likely Illinois in round 2. So Dave Koken, Ralph Michaels, find them both at WagerTalk.com, and also we got a coupon code here, guys. MM50 at checkout. That's MM50. We'll take $50 off the March Madness package. So check it out, WagerTalk.com.